if you have gastrointestinal issues, I dealt with fatty liver disease, GERD. GERD was so bad my throat would close up. It was awful. I'd wake up in the middle of the night thinking that I was having heart attacks. I had gastritis. I had a cyst on my liver, a cyst on my brain, hypertension, prediabetes, candida. I was way overweight. And I thought I was having a heart attack one day. I woke up and literally couldn't breathe. My throat was closing up. My heart was racing. And I have a more detailed video talking about that on my profile if you want to see what started this entire journey. Now it's my mission to help people like yourself be encouraged that you can heal naturally once you start consuming the right food. There's things that you could do to burn fat 24/7 while you're sleeping, even after you ate. Now I want to share what that is here in just a minute. But I had a lot of visceral fat. And just, again, that's fat that's surrounding your organs. Your liver can only take so much fat. And then once it reaches that capacity, it just starts pushing it out to your other organs. So it's going to surround your heart. It contributes to cardiovascular disease, heart disease. Just a bunch of health conditions are affected by fat and how much of it that you have. So I started doing some research. I was taking PPIs, I was taking the H2 blockers, and before I changed my diet, it wasn't really working much. I still had the burning. Occasionally it wouldn't be as intense, but I was still consuming things like Pepsi, Coke, Dr. Pepper, Monster energy drinks. I work in a factory, so it was second shift. I used to drink a lot of Monster energy drinks. I was eating processed food my entire life. So all these things just started affecting me really, really bad when I turned 34 years old. Now, this was 3 years ago, and thankfully I'm better now. But what I did is started doing my own research. Now, I came across Dr. Ken Berry, Anthony Chaffee, Sean Baker, Eric Bird, and their information is really what changed my mindset on food, on fasting, on sprinting. All those things I did together, and it started to work. But see, I had fatty liver disease, and once you start eating less sugar and you start going into keto carnivore, your body's going to start going into fat burning mode. So this is how you burn fat while you're just sitting there. See, the way that I did it is I was eating processed food, like I said, my entire life. So I ended up going to a whole food diet, and I was eating natural sugars like bananas, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and I did that for a month, and I transitioned out of that into a ketogenic diet. So each week while I was transitioning out of that, I would take out one sugar. That way it would be easier to slowly transition into keto. So once I hit that, I went from 213 down to 204. And after a month of keto, I was slowly taking out the veggies, and I was cooking in beef tallow, butter, ghee, things like that. And I started losing even more weight the more carbohydrates that I took out. So when I hit the carnivore stage, I really started noticing the benefits about 2 weeks in. Now, you may go through the keto flu during the carnivore stage if you try this, or you could go through it during the keto stage. But I felt horrible for 2 weeks. Low energy, it was really rough. But I knew that this was part of the process, so I kept going. For breakfast, I would eat a pound of ground beef, and I'd put like 4 to 5 pasture-raised eggs on there. You can use whatever eggs, but I made them over medium. That's just the way that I liked them. It made me think that I was like having a sauce. I would use Redmond real salt, Celtic sea salt, or Baja Gold, just a good mineral salt. Sometimes I would even use what was that one? Pink Himalayan sea salt, that 100% pure kind. And I've seen a lot of benefits from it. I went all the way down to 160 during this stage. And I didn't have that pain underneath my right rib cage. My fatty liver started to hurt. And on top of that, the best thing is I noticed that intense burning that was inside of my throat, it was completely gone. And at this time, like I said, I started losing a lot of weight. So that's what made me, learn about the power of fasting, the power of a carnivore diet, because that fat that's stored up on your liver, that's one of the first things to go. Because when you are not consuming carbs, you're not consuming sugar, you're consuming a high-fat protein diet, then your body has no other choice than to start using fat for fuel, because your body runs on two different types of fuel. It's either going to run on glucose or it's going to run on fat. So I think of it like this. If fat is so bad for you, like everybody says today, why is it the first thing that God gives a baby when it's born to consume? There's no meat, there's nothing else. It's just milk. Why? That helps the brain grow. That helps the body develop. It's just all around good for the baby. That does not change when we are adults. We've been fed a lie all of this time. So once I started eating that, for breakfast, I would eat the beef and the eggs cooked in butter with the good mineral salt. And then for dinner, I would have, a steak with some more eggs. And that was it. There's a hunger hormone in your brain called ghrelin. And the more that you lower the carbs, you're going to be in fat burning mode. Like I was saying, this is going to continue even while you're sleeping, while you're standing, while you're doing anything. You're not consuming sugar or carbs of any type, because see, the potatoes and the bread and the things like that, it does break down into sugar inside of your body. So once I cut that stuff out, I went down in weight. This whole process was like 4 months. But yeah, your body just stays in fat burning mode. And, the visceral fat, that is burned one way. And that is through a ketogenic type of diet and sprinting. I don't understand why sprinting works the way that it does, but it's just you stress your body so much that it just starts burning away that fat that's surrounding your organs. Now you're going to remove the fat from your heart. You're going to remove the fat from your spleen, from your pancreas, from your stomach. See, I had a hiatal hernia, and I believe that this fatty liver couldn't hold any more fat, so it pushed it out into my other organs, which helped push the stomach up, and I end up getting a sliding hernia. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's just where a part of your stomach, the upper part of your stomach, it goes up through your diaphragm and it bulges out a little bit. Now, this is really easy for people to still feel reflux symptoms whenever you have something like this, so you just got to be careful with it. Don't lean over a lot. Don't pick up a lot of heavy things by yourself. Learn a lifting technique. If you got to do it at your job, you got to do what you got to do. But leaning over, lifting too heavy a weight can contribute to the hernia, which helps keep the acid reflux the way that it is in most cases. But, once I learned about that and I got the food right, I got the dietary change right, I got the food right, I got the lifestyle change, I started sprinting, I started watching how I lift weight. All these things contributed to my healing. So I also noticed that inflammation was going out of my body. It was just a lot in there, and I had no idea. I would stand, 10 to 12 hours a day winding coils, and my knees would feel it once I got home. I mean, just sore, achy. But once I went on a high-fat, low-carb diet like Keto Carnivore, I got better. And I believe that God designed our bodies to heal themselves, but it's up to us to give it the right fuel. Berries and things like that, they're natural, but yet where we live, I believe, this is just a personal belief, but I believe that our bodies adapt to the area that we live in. The people that live in some parts of Russia, they live off fish and seal and things like that. Different people that's in tropical climates, they have fruit all year round. They do fine with it. People that are in like Italy and places like this, they don't do things to their grain like we do here in America. Therefore, you can go over there and you can eat pasta, you can eat some pizza from time to time, and you are not going to gain weight. It's going to be completely different for you than the way it is here. But like just where we live, the berries and things, they grow seasonally for a reason. If we were still living out in the mountains and stuff, eating what we could, it'd be heavy meat. We'd use fat from the cattle and everything like that to cook the food in. But once I started eating kind of like that, as if I was living out there, and seasonally I can eat some fruit, but most of the time I'm just doing like a carnivore diet, I started to heal. I started to get better. And there's been millions of people that's seen my videos, and I think it's the coolest thing ever. And it's just my goal to encourage people like yourself that if you try this, you can get better, but it takes work, and it's different for each person, you know? So I was eating like this for 8 weeks, and then I got down to 160. I wanted to put back on some more weight. So what did I do? I added healthy carbs back in the form of sweet potatoes, fermented foods, and just really that, even, you know, some fruit and veg fermented. So there's a salmon shop that I shop at, and it's all natural. It's made with salt, a salt brine, and it's just really, really good. Like my go-to veggies now are asparagus and beets. So I just wanted to share that with you. You know, if you want to burn fat, if you want to help your body heal, then please consider checking out my 52-week playlist. I show you everything that I do in detail. All these things that I talked about was done 3 years ago when I was first going through this. And then over the summer, I started adding back too many carbohydrates, and I couldn't figure out which ones were activating a little bit of LPR, silent reflux. And, you know, during the holiday, I ate whatever because I was going to family's house a lot, and I gained weight back. I went all the way back up to 189.6, I believe. And at the beginning of this year, January, I started a video series updating you every single week. So every 7th day, I upload a video, and it's called my 52-week progress update video. So everything that I always talk about on here, you can see that stuff working on the inside of my body. I give you an update every week. You're going to see the good. You're going to see the bad. I want to tell you if I go to birthday parties and eat a piece of cake. I want to tell you all that stuff. So I just want you to see the realistic side of this. And I just really want to practice what I preach. I want people to be able to trust me because I am a firm believer in these things. And I just want to see you get better as well. Now, there is a free community that's in the link in my bio on my YouTube channel, and it is a school community. It's completely free to join. There's a free course in there explaining everything that was going on in my body and the dietary change that I made to get better. Now, that's completely free. I'm not trying to sucker you into anything at all. That's going to be pinned in the first comment, and it's going to be in the link in my description if you want to check that out. But please, if you found any value in this video at all, please leave it a like, leave me a comment. It's going to help me get pushed out into more people like yourself. Now, you're going to see a bunch of different things on this channel. You're going to see me make food that is still really good. I make cake. I make, cheesecake. I make brownies, all that stuff like that. Healthy taco shells that are no carb at all. Things that you can still enjoy. Now, if you are interested in that and you want to see those videos, I'm going to link a few right here at the end, and I'm going to link that 52-week playlist. So if you want to check that out, check out one of these videos right here, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.